The Zimmerman case is one of the most amazing cases that I have ever seen in my life. First of all, he's been deemed a white man when he's as white as the president is. He's a Hispanic. Mm-hmm. And Hispanics are being told that, you know, the Democratic Party and this administration and the left, they just love you. They're your hope. They're your great hope. Put your hope, put your future in their hands, because they're going to finally bring justice for you. Look, we have to be really frank. As you will see this week on The Blaze, and we will try to bring more stories to you just about this museum that we are putting together here in the Mountain West for the Independence Week. America has been a place of great and grand injustice, just like every country and every land in the history of the planet, because man is flawed. Natural man, is an enemy of God. It takes man striving to be better and finding some point in the sky to fix his eyes on, something in the heavens to be able to use as a compass, to be able to say, this is the direction we should be going. And that has to be immovable. And there's only really one thing that is immovable in man's world, and that is God. It's not science. Science moves all the time. God is immovable. And because of that, we have been able to fix that point, our eyes on that point, and be able to move. And because of that, we know that there is no such thing as social justice. There is no such way for man to balance things out. Sorry, some people are born with a handicap. Some are not. Some are born with more talent than others. Some are born into a family that have access like the Kennedys. I can't balance that out unless we have justice and a court system where justice is blind. And it doesn't look at a last name. It doesn't look at a color. It doesn't look at anything but the facts. That you take the name and you take the color of the skin, you take everything off except the facts, and justice looks at those facts and says, guilty, not guilty. And it has nothing to do with your station in life. That's what's made us different. And now, because we have stopped looking up, we have stopped looking for that immovable compass point, because we now believe in social justice and collective salvation as opposed to individual salvation, because we no longer believe in merit anymore. You get into your colleges because you have connections. You get into your colleges because you're of a different race. It is not on your merit anymore. You get a job because of connections. You get a job because you're a certain race. It was just as wrong to do it to the white man as it is to do it to the black man or the red man or the Chinese. Doesn't matter. It's wrong. Civil rights exist. It's called the Bill of Rights, and they belong to all men. All men. Because all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain things that you cannot change ever. No man can change because they are given by God. And those rights are simple. I have a right to speak my mind. I have a right to worship God as I understand Him. I have a right to assemble with my own friends, the friends of my choosing. I have a right to say, hey, you're my government and you're out of control. I have a right. If somebody comes into my house, if somebody comes into my business, if somebody stops me in a parking lot and wants to kill me or rape my wife, she has a right to defend herself, and so do I. I have a right that what I write in my notebooks and my personal papers, what I have in my bank accounts, what I do with my time and my money is my business, not yours. Now, if you suspect me of a crime, then you have a responsibility to go to a court, again, where justice is blind, and make the case and say, we believe he killed a man. We believe he's embezzling. We believe he's doing X, Y, or Z. And the judge has a responsibility to say, before you violate those rights and look into his papers, before you tap his phone, you show me the evidence that makes you think that this man is doing something wrong. And it's a high standard because I have a right to have my phone calls private. I have a right for my papers to be private. There are certain things called civil rights, and they're all found in the Bill of Rights. And they were all protected by the Constitution. And we have failed so many times. Are we going to now fail our last great test? Are we going to fail? Are we really going to, while we are saying we're an enlightened group of people, go back to the animals that natural man really is and tear each other apart over race or power or greed? Yes, I'm afraid so many would answer yes, because they have forgotten the other point in the sky that was a compass point. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. There are too many that want vengeance because they believe in collective salvation, because they believe that they can dish out vengeance, they can dish out judgment and justice. And so we make our justice system a joke. The guy's being railroaded. I don't know anything about Zimmerman. But I do know this. The guy's getting railroaded. They convicted him the day this happened. They convicted him of the greatest crime in America today. The first crime he committed was not killing a black man. His first crime was being white, even though he's not white. He suddenly became a Caucasian. Hispanics, listen up. They'll turn on you the second it's to their advantage because they don't believe in true justice. They believe in vengeance. They believe in power. They believe in greed. They believe in all those things that do not come from God. They do not believe in equal justice. They believe in special justice. And if you stand in the way, or because they believe in the collective, your life isn't worth anything to them if they can use you to make a greater point for the collective. You have to break a few eggs. And this Hispanic is an unfortunate egg that needs to be broken. And MSNBC is now saying there's little hope that he's going to be convicted. Excuse me? There's little hope that he's going to be convicted? Who is hoping for him to be convicted if the evidence shows he's not guilty?
Which they admitted to. That panel agreed to that. Still shouldn't have said anything.
I mean,
Still, it's not time. It's not time to add.
No, I mean,
right, you are on a roll. Go ahead.
No, I'm done now.
No, you are on a roll.
I just think you've taken the wheels right off my.
No, I don't think so. I think that was a little addition to the rant. I think it was an important addendum to a very good rant.
Wow.
No. All right.
No. Here's the thing. They are so clearly, and when I say they, how does he mean by they? I'll tell you who. The media, the politicians, the Black Panthers, Al Sharpton, the poverty pimps of our generation, because they're poverty pimps. Hey, Al, when's the last time you read Booker T. Washington Up from Slavery? Maybe you should. These people they sense for the first time they can be in power. Al Sharpton has been on the outside forever, but he can be in power. But I got news for you, Al. They'll throw you under the bus. You see, that's the thing that everybody needs to learn from the Zimmerman trial. The guy's not white. He's Hispanic. The progressive left loves Hispanics. No, they don't. No, they don't. They love jobs. No, they don't. The progressive left, they love jobs. They love the little guy. That's why they love unions. Then why did the unions vote for immigration? Why did they spend so much money? For power. They don't care about your job here in America. They are advocating that we bring and don't build the fence, just keep bringing more people in. Why? Because it enhances their power. According to Trumpka, shouldn't the union be against this? Because it's going to hurt the American worker. Yes, quote, normally we would be, but we know how they're going to vote, and they'll vote our way. It's about power, not about you. You're paying them, but you're one of the eggs that's just going to have to be broken. Because they have a grander idea, and you're going to have your life, sure, you're going to, but they will get their way. The same thing with Zimmerman. A Hispanic being thrown out as a useless piece of meat. You see, once you don't care about the individual, once you say that it's the collective and not the individual, once you say, we're going to try this emotionally in the media without any facts, and then you have a system of justice that will go right along with it, you're back to the days of the Jim Crow laws. You're back to the days, you might as well get the Klan, except don't call them the Klan now. Just call them the Panthers. And the Klan will come back too, because they will say, we need vengeance. The racist will rise again on both sides. And the average person will pray for someone just to keep the peace. And it will turn out like it does every time. When the monsters start to rise again, every time the people just cower in fear and look for anybody who can protect them. And there's always someone willing to stand in those shoes. Always someone willing to stand in those shoes. And MSNBC, they know exactly what they're doing. This is not 2004 anymore, when so many Americans were lost and didn't know what they were talking about and didn't know it. This isn't 2004 anymore. This is 2013. Our country is at stake. Our children are at stake. This isn't hyperbole. You know, 2000 in the year 2000, when we were back and forth on Al Gore and we were talking about laws. Are we going to stay with laws or not? But nobody's life was at stake. The Republic, it was hyperbole then to say the Republic is at stake. I guess it is. It is true. It was true then, but it seemed like hyperbole because nobody in 2000 saw this coming by 2013. But gang, we're at the end. And unless we stand for unmovable truths, just those truths that are immovable and eternal, whether you like them or not, they're eternal and immovable. Unless we stand for those we don't like, if they're wronged, we have to stand with them. You may be for Trayvon Martin. But if the facts come out and say Zimmerman did it in self-defense, I don't like Zimmerman. I don't like him. I mean, he was out in the night and he's patrolling. He seems like an egomaniac. He's doing stuff I wouldn't do and I wouldn't want my neighbor to do. But if he's not guilty, you don't condemn him. And if they don't condemn him, what's going to happen? This guy's life is ruined forever. Forever. Aren't we becoming everything we despise? The only way to stop it is to be for blind justice.